All right, let's not laugh about this one because the Americans have been on fire. Let's face it, especially the guys over the clay court period. We've had some really good results, but the women have always done well. Look, Sloane,
Yep.
Stevens, Coco, Maddie Keys, of course, Serena, all the players. We've had some really. Kennan has made the final. Like we've had some really good runs in the women's. But the guys, I'm impressed. But let's start with number 3, of course, Coco Gauff. She just absolutely thrashes her opponent. Danielle Collins won in straight sets against another American dollhide. Taylor Fritz won. Tommy Paul won, and they all won fairly comfortably. Taylor lost the first set. Ben Shelton had a really good win over Hugo Gaston and Francis Tiafoe. Wow, could that win over 5 sets change his entire year?
Let's hope so. Like he's had a tough year, but that sometimes all it is, it's one win that can kind of like give you that spark to get you going. But look, you're talking about all the Americans, the men and the women are doing great. The women have always done great. The men, there were some years I played the French Open, and the men we went 1 for 11 in first round. But that tide's kind of changed. I feel like now we're 11-1, and these guys, we've got Taylor, Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, TFO. I think we got Sebastian Porter. Yeah, we've got a lot of great players now, and these guys, they won their matches today, but they've been doing well on the clay for the last 2 months. Shelton winning Houston, Fritz making a semifinal Masters series, Tommy Paul making a semifinal in Masters series. So they're going to start this piling on more wins, and we're going to see one of these guys is going to make a quarterfinal here at least, and hopefully a little more.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that one of these American guys, I think, can get to quarters or semis. I think they're playing well enough. I think that Taylor has. I think this court is a little bit different too. I think the French Open clay, as you know, is just so perfect and so great that you don't have it's not super heavy conditions, although the conditions have been woeful in the last couple of days.
Right.
It's been so cold. I mean, we have done it, right? We've been at the French where it's like blazing hot and the clay is like super dry and you have to water it like every 5 minutes just to keep it without the dust flying in your eyes. And then there's some times where it's so heavy and the balls get like a giant. And that's the way it's been really. We've had so much rain. So that certainly doesn't help the big hitting players. And I thought that that's the one thing that sucked really for Nadal when they closed the roof. That made it even harder for him to play against Zverev under the roof conditions. Yeah. I mean, everything changes. That it becomes heavier indoors as well. So just the conditions, like how much is that hurting them? And then, what chance do you give, hopefully, the guys if it gets a little bit warmer?
Yeah, look, these guys want warmer weather. The Americans, we want warmer weather where the clay's a little faster and the ball goes through the air. Having said that, Tommy Paul or Taylor Fritz and Ben Shelton and Francis Tiafoe, they're big, strong guys that can hit the ball really hard. So they can, hit the ball through the clay if it's moist and wet. But if they're gonna make runs to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, we need the sun to come out. We need the roofs open. We need the clay fast. And so hopefully, I haven't looked at the weather forecast the next 10 days, but I'm hoping the sun's gonna come out. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But I do see second round we've got Ben Shelton versus Kei Nishikori, which is gonna be a fun one because Shelton's an offensive guy, huge serve. Nishikori, a little bit more of a counter puncher. So I don't know what the weather is gonna be like. Shelton's gonna want it hot so we can bring out the lefty 150 serve. But that's gonna be a fun match to watch.
I want to see Ben hit that kick serve on the first court to the forehand side. That one that will bounce away from Kei, because Kei's like my height. He's like 5'9", 5'10". I'm 5'10". I think he's round about my height. I just want to see him trying to get back that kicker, because I don't care who you are. If you're 5'10" and it's bouncing 6'5" over your head, you're not getting it back. So it'll be interesting to see how he varies his serve against Kei, because Kei is a great returner, but you got to get out of his hitting zone. So that's a good opportunity really for Ben, I think, to get through that match. And it'll be a fun match, as you said.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be a great one, and I'm sure him and his dad are going to come up with a great game plan because, like you said, Kei is an incredible returner. He's going to have to mix that serve up quite a bit, but that's going to be one I'm tuned in for.